everybody, I'm Robbie Straczynski.
And I'm Shimmy Weiss.
And we're here for the first ever weekly burn and turn for PokerUpdate.com. Yay! We're so excited. Okay. For the week of August 16th, 2015. So what we're going to do here is hopefully on a weekly basis, every Thursday, we're going to come to you and review some of the news and topics from the articles that we published on PokerUpdate.com. Some of you may have read them, some of you may not have read them, but we'll do a little bit of an overview and hopefully entertain you a little bit and
have some fun.
Have some fun. That's what it's all about. So let's get right into it. First article we're going to talk about is about Vanessa Russo. She was on a very popular show recently, not in poker.
Big Brother.
Big Brother.
It's really good to actually see these poker players branching out and showing up in other areas of media, Hollywood, and things like that. It's very
Hashtag good for poker. Right.
That's right.
So we've been following along each week, and David Huber, one of our great writers, he's written a little bit of an update. I think there's less than 10 people left now on Big Brother.
That's right. After last night, are we down to 8?
I think so. I think so. And who's going to win? We don't really know. Question, what do you think? Good for poker or bad for poker if Vanessa wins?
Definitely good for poker.
Okay.
Any exposure is good. Well, that's not necessarily true, but this is good exposure. We're rooting for you, Vanessa. We hope that you make it through.
Hope so too. And it's a good way to be an ambassador in the mainstream, spread outside of the sport, just like other great ambassadors like Daniel Negreanu. Anytime he does interviews that go beyond stuff that goes on at the felt, it's always hopefully gives an opportunity to put a good face on the game. So rooting for you, Vanessa. And
truth is, it's just another type of poker, anyways. It's another game. It's strategy. It's it's working around and making sure that you stay on and playing the odds in your favor.
I hear you, and you're really good at segues. I got to tell you. So that segues beautifully into the second article we're going to talk about, also by David Huber. It's called 5 Distractions to Avoid When Multi-Tabling Online Poker.
It's impressive, like you said, that he got it down to just 5 distractions.
Right.
There are thousands of distractions.
Right, because like Facebook and Twitter, which you should find us Poker Update on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, right. A number of different distractions. I mean, everyone who likes poker, of course, likes playing poker, sometimes live, sometimes online. And if you really want to improve your game, it's important not to be too distracted. Let's go through a couple of the things that David mentioned.
Well, number one is obviously watching TV. If you're following Vanessa Russo, I would recommend not doing so while you're playing online.
Indeed.
That's not a good way to keep on track of the other players at your table. You want to be able to give your full attention to the game, otherwise it's really going to affect you negatively.
I hear you loud and clear. I mean, everyone's into the second screen experience, but truth be told, if you really want to do well online, if you're not just playing recreationally, throw a few bucks here or there, it's good to give your full undivided attention and not have another screen distracting you. Another thing that could obviously take away from your concentration if you had a little bit too much to drink the night before or that morning. Some people are drinking in the morning.
Or at the moment.
Or at the moment.
Drinking alcohol and playing poker is not a good combination. Maybe like a little bit, if you're taking, one drink, fine. But if you start really hitting the alcohol, that's going to affect your judgment.
And speaking of drinking, we can do a drinking game if you'd be into it. Any mistake that Shimmy or I make here on the weekly burn and turn for Poker Update, we can have a drink.
Ooh.
Yay, drink, yay.
It's good we're just drinking water or things would get really crazy.
Oh, it's water? Oh, okay, good. I thought it was the other clear liquid. Another one of the 5 distractions is chasing losses. Typical that, if you're starting to lose money, you may get distracted. Oh my God, I got to make the money back. Not a good thing if you're going to be playing online poker. You got to be on your A game at all times.
You really got to keep your judgment as clear as possible. If you start having losses, the tendency is to try to up the game, is to maybe even up the stakes, and that's the worst mistake you could absolutely make. If you're suffering losses, take the stakes down a level, take a step back, and that way you regroup. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in a hole you're not going to get out of.
For sure. And speaking of holes you're not going to get out of, which has nothing to do with the next point on the 5 distractions list, casino games, for example. Great to play, just like you said, great to watch Vanessa Russo, great to do all these other things, alcoholic beverages even, a good thing to consume at other times, but not while you're playing. So casino games, typically whether you're playing live or online, the operator or the resort will have casino games available for you. Try to keep them on the side away, and when you're ready to go ahead and let loose a little bit, do a little bit more gamble, then do the casino games, but not while you're doing multi-tabling.
I liked what David Huber actually said about that. He recommended that if you're a serious poker player, you probably want to avoid the casino games as much as possible, because you want to have an edge. You want to keep your edge as much as possible, and truth be told, casino games, you lose your edge.
Right.
In casino games, the odds are against you no matter what way you play them. And as a poker player, you want to make sure that the odds are always in your favor.
Right, and obviously you want to improve your game as much as possible, and the odds being against you or for you, you're playing against other players, and that's why we love poker. The casino or the host is only making money by hosting the game, so they're already making their money. Now you got to be sure that you make your money and not be distracted by the other stuff that they offer you. And the last of the 5 distractions is just negative influences. Stuff maybe going on in your personal life, things that happen, during the day at work that is distracting you. It's the tendency, okay, you want to go and just forget about all of that, but it's still in your mind. So sometimes the best thing for you to do, in fact, is wait, not even play online. Wait till that stuff is just out of your head, and then you can go ahead and give your full effort.
Right. You don't want your family life to get in the way of your poker playing. If you're a parent like we are, we can tell you straight up. You wait till the kids are asleep before you sit down to a game, because oh my God, if they're running around behind you, there's no way you're going to be able to play those hands like you need to.
And pro tip, wait at least till your kid is 1 year old, because they will wake up in the middle of the night while you're playing online, and then you'll just end up having to work for a living instead of making money online when you're playing poker. Another great article, we'll switch over here, another good writer of ours, excellent writer of ours, James Gwill. He wrote about 4 alternatives to Texas Hold'em, and I'm thinking, wow, 4 great alternatives.
It's good to change up the game a little bit. Sometimes, I love Texas Hold'em. You could be playing that for hours and hours on end, but you need to break the routine a little bit. Otherwise, it gets a little bit repetitive. You need to have something to throw in there. I actually like games where dealer's choice, where the dealer ends up throwing out a different game at you each time.
Well, that's what I was thinking. 4, I was like, I could think of like 400 different games of poker. But James actually, he took a nice, great shortcut here. It wasn't just pot limit Omaha as one game. He talked about all different kinds of Omaha games. Omaha High-Low, Big O, that's the 5-card Omaha, other Omaha-based games with the flop, a turn and a river. Then he went into 7-card stud games and all these different kinds of games. So within the 4 alternatives, he did try to cover as much ground as possible. It's a good article. You should definitely try to read it. What were the other alternatives that he?
Well, you got 7-card stud, which I know is a very big favorite among people. I know, Robbie, you love 7-card
stud, especially the high-low version. Sometimes you can play with a declare, without a declare. It's a good action game, and you got to remember which cards are on the table. It really tests your memory a lot more, I think, than just plain old Texas Hold'em.
You have to be very careful playing these games, though. Make sure when you're sitting down to a game of a different with different rules that you know how you're playing.
Very important.
Because there have been players that they sit down and they're not completely 100% set with the rules, and it will end up hurting them in the end.
Okay, yeah, I totally agree with you. Other games that James mentioned, Chinese poker, OFC, open face Chinese, very popular variant as of late. Good alternative to Texas Hold'em. The question is, can everyone at the table play a game like that?
Not you. You have to be. You only have so many cards in the deck.
Right.
So when you're dealing with a game like Chinese poker, you're going to end up playing with maximum 4 players, because once you go over 4 players, you don't have enough cards.
So it's definitely good to try. You can play it online. You can play it, for play money or with your friends, but you're usually only going to be limited to 4 players or 2 players you can play against each other. So, what I'd recommend, definitely alternative Texas Hold'em. Let's say you're trying to get a home game together or something like that.
You don't have more than 4 people.
Exactly. So you don't have to give up on the poker night. So you can still keep on playing and just, maybe do a little bit of OFC to mix things up. And, 4-person Texas Hold'em is only great when you're at the final table and hoping to be among the last 3 and then 2 and then win the tournament.
Yeah, the last game that he spoke about was 2-7 low ball.
2-7 low ball. Love it. Yeah.
It's most people play it either triple draw or single draw. It's another great alternative. It's something again to shake things up in a game.
It's one of my favorites. There's a lot of great strategy in low ball, big time action game, especially when you're doing a triple draw. You know, everyone's drawing to the nuts to have that 7 low. Or trying to get the 8 low. Sometimes you'll snow and basically you won't draw on that third draw, even though you only have, maybe you have a pair, maybe you have like a king for the deuce 7 low ball. But the fact of the matter is, with all of these different choices, whether it's Omaha games, 7-card stud games, low ball games, deuce 7, or Chinese poker, it's a good alternative, good way to open up your range, learn about new things. Because Texas Hold'em, yes, it's the game that made poker famous. It's the game of the boom, the game on the TV. But when you're playing, whether it's online or with your friends, it's great to just sort of have other options available.
It's good to keep the game interesting as well. If you get a chance to sit down at a table where they switch it up and mix games, it's a very good opportunity if you're familiar with the games. That way, every blind that the different game that you're playing changes. It's a nice alternative to just straight up Texas Hold'em.
100%. And if you're just tuning in right now, which is impossible because this is going to be like a YouTube video and a video on Facebook.
You can't really just tune in.
Exactly, because you just have to like skip to like the 12 or 13 minute mark wherever we're at right now. So the next final topic we're going to cover here in the weekly burn and turn for PokerUpdate.com is something that's been in the news for a while. Phil Ivey. That means we're going to get a lot more traffic because we're talking about Phil Ivey.
Absolutely.
Everyone loves Phil Ivey. So it's Phil Ivey got himself, or got embroiled in rather a legal case with the Borgata in Atlantic City, where you're from, incidentally.
That's right, Atlantic City. That's
we tried to get a Vegas guy. We'll settle for an Atlantic City.
We're a good runner-up.
We love you, Shimmy. Thank you. So Phil Ivey and the Borgata, for those a little bit unfamiliar with the case, it's something called edge sorting. He was playing at the Punto Banco or Baccarat, basically a type of thing where you have the dealer and you have the player. It's a house game, not a kind of poker or anything. And he won a good many millions of dollars from the Borgata. The thing is, though, Borgata is basically claiming that he did so in a bit of an unsavory way.
Yeah, they claim that he had a little bit more of an edge against the casino, something with the cards.
With the cards, he had a companion, Ms. Sun, as Charles Rettmuller reports. She was there and speaking in Mandarin to the Mandarin-speaking dealer. The thing is, when you're a Phil Ivey, when you got millions of dollars, you can pretty much say, hey guys, can we up the stakes a little bit? Can we have a Mandarin-speaking dealer? Can we use these cards or that sort of thing? So they acquiesced to his request because, sure, he's got millions of dollars to drop to the casino. So so the next development in the case, basically what the Borgata is saying that he used the method whereby they asked him to turn the cards, and he was able to spot, Mr. Ivey, what the cards were.
The cards weren't perfect. He was able to differentiate between the cards based on the back. So he was able to see if they were placed just right. He was able to know have a better idea of what cards were coming out.
So this case is definitely going on, and they're suing him to get their money back. And the thing is, no. I'm sorry. You can't do that. The man won fair and square. He is I wouldn't say he's an advantage player, but he spotted a place where, hey, I can make money from this.
I kind of love how they destroyed the cards, and then they're coming to him and saying, well, you used that against us. It's like, all right, show us the cards that used against you. Well, we destroyed them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So we don't really have any evidence now, and you can't really, point to the fact that, oh, these are the cards.
We're just going to trust you that what you're saying is right.
Right. So just one thing to say about that. Pay the man his money. That's Phil Ivey deserves everything. He's got, at least that's the way we think here at PokerUpdate.com. So that's about it for the weekly burn and turn for us. We hope you like it. We hope you've been entertained. Again, my name is Robbie Straczynski.
I'm Shimmy Weiss.
You can locate us. We're going to hopefully be here again every week. Send us an email. Let us know about your feedback. press@pokerupdate.com. We're on Facebook. Look for Poker Update. We're on Twitter @Poker Update. And we'll just keep on saying Poker Update because we want to keep you engaged and embroiled and that sort of thing. So share this with your friends. We hope you like it. Comment on our YouTube videos. And above all, be sure to subscribe to our channel because every time a new video is going to come out, you'll get a great notification. And great to see these wonderful faces, which are perfect for radio, on your screen.
Looking forward to seeing you next time.
Thanks a lot.